Due to some technical problem, my previous recording was stopped. So I am continuing from my previous video. So in the previous video, I have already marked the zeros and poles. If there is no zeros, only poles are there. I mark here the poles are at -3, -1, and 0. I have marked these poles, and now we want to find out the existence of root locus on real axis, or I can say root locus exists on real axis between which section. So the definition, there is a definition. Just listen to my because I cannot write the full sentence here. The definition is the root locus exists on a section on real axis if total number of poles and zeros to the right of that section is odd. But I have said the root locus exists on a section on real axis if total number of poles and zeros to the right of that section is odd. Okay. So since it is getting about the right side of that section, so we start with the point for consideration from the left side. So I take a point in this. I take a section, point section, small point, the point or small section in the left side of this graph, which I have drawn in the rough section. So from this, the total number of poles and zeros to right of this section are, we have to count. Manually we have to count. So total number of poles, you can see 1, 2, 3. 3 number of poles are there, no zeros are there. So total number of poles and zeros are becomes 3, and 3 is an odd number. As per the statement, root locus exists at this section, and the same condition can be extended from -infinity till -3. So the root locus exists between -infinity to -3. Okay. At the moment I reach -3, one of these poles is now not to the right of that section, but at the section. So it is omitted. So total number of poles is 0 to the right of the section now become 1 and 2. 2 is an even number. So the root locus does not exist between the section -3 to -1. When I reaches -1, 2 number of poles are omitted, not right but now left. So total at the moment I reaches -1, total number of poles and zeros to right of this section becomes 1, and 1 is a odd number. So root locus exists. So second section is -1 to 0, and whenever I reaches the point 0, there is no roots present to the right of the section, no poles and no zeros present to the right of the section, and hence either 0 is considered as even number, and hence root locus does not exist beyond 0. So root locus only exists between -infinity to -3. So we can dark the points between 0 to -1 and -3 to till infinity. Okay, it will be noted like this. In the rough section, it is only drawn in the rough way. Then we have to go to the point number 5. This is all about point number 4. We have already did it. Next, I have to use this point number 4 because I am continue with the point number 5. But I am not using this point number 1 and 2 because it will be applicable in point number 6, which is centroid. But I am now finding point number 5. It is called break point. There are some other names also. It is also called as breakaway point, break-in point, or I combine as a combination. I simply give it a name, break point. And the definition is a break point is a point where, what I have said, a break point is a point where 2 or more root locus branches meets and departs. That means at this point two root locus branches coming from from different directions meet each other and departs. So that is the break point, and this is find out by rewriting the characteristic equation that I have written previously. I have erased that part. The characteristic equation. What is the characteristic equation? 1 plus dsx 1 plus dsx is equals to, we have to write here the characteristic equation. The characteristic equation is s3 plus 4 square plus 3s plus 2 equals to 0. This is the characteristic equation. And for breakpoint, the formula to find out the breakpoint is rewrite the characteristic equation in terms of k. That means I have written the characteristic equation. Now just simply write k equals to what? Minus s cube minus 4s the bracket s cube plus 4s square plus 3s, and find out dk by ds. So what is dk by ds? It becomes finding for the solution dk by ds equals to 0. Since I have equated this to 0, so this minus term will also omitted. Minus term is not required. Now I can solve this part. dk by ds becomes 3s square plus 8s plus 3 equals to 0. I have to solve this equation, and by solving this equation you can directly find out the solution in your calculator in equation mode. I am just opening the books for the answer because it will take time. The solution of this equation are s1 equals to s1 and s2. There are two solutions because s square is there. Minus 0.45 and minus 2.21. But as I can see that these two results or the two solutions for this equation already lie in the real axis, and we have already find out whether the root locus exists between which section. We have already mentioned in the previous point. Now we can verify that the real axis, the root locus exists between, I have to write read on the previous figure, 0, minus 1, minus 3. The root locus exists between these 2 points, and the definition of breakpoint says that it is a point where 2 or more root locus branches coming and departing. That means at this point root locus are there, but we can verify that this point 0 minus 0.45 lies between this point. There is root locus exists, but in this case the root locus does not belongs here. Minus 1 to minus 3, minus 2.21. Root locus does not belong to this point. So this is an invalid solution. This is the valid solution. That means for a valid breakpoint, at breakpoint the root locus must present there. So by verifying from the previous points, we can find out this valid breakpoint. For valid breakpoint, it must lie in the root locus section, which is we have already find out from the previous section, point number 4. Now we have already find out the valid breakpoint is 0 to minus 0.45 is the valid one. This one is the valid breakpoint. This is not the valid breakpoint. Okay, then we go to the point number 6. The point number 6 is about centroid. Point number 6 is about centroid. And what is centroid? It is a point from which we can draw imaginary lines which ultimately match with the root locus branches at infinity. Okay, it is a point where imaginary lines are drawn, or I can say approximation lines are drawn, which ultimately matches with the root locus branches when the value of k approaches infinity. Okay, these are the theoretical part. What the centroid, it is normally denoted with small x, and the formula is x equals to, and I think the summation of poles plus summation of 0, summation of poles by summation of 0 by p minus z. Plus, not plus, it is minus. It is minus. Summation of poles minus summation of zeros by p minus z. So what is poles and what is zeros and what is p and what is z? I have already written. P is 3, z is 0, so p minus z becomes 3 minus 0 equals to 3. And what are the poles and what are the zeros? There is no zeros, but poles are there. The poles are 0, minus 1, minus 3. So I have to write here is equals to summation of poles, means addition of all the poles, that is minus 1, minus 3. Since no zeros are there, I can directly write here 3. It is minus 4 by 3 equals to minus 1.33. This is the center. This is the point which will be applicable in our drawing part. Then this is not required now. We have to go to the next part, that is point number 7. Angle of asymptotes. Angle of asymptotes. So what is angle of asymptotes? The imaginary line which I have already mentioned in this centroid, the imaginary line which we want to draw from the centroid, this line at which angle we want to draw, it will be provided by this angle of asymptotes. At centroid, we draw imaginary lines at these angles. So how to find out these angles? There is the formula. Formula is the formula is P plus 1. That's what it is. The formula for asymptotes angle are 2p plus 1 into 180 degree divided by P minus Z. And this is the number 6 part. And what is K? K is varies from 0, 1 to up to P minus Z minus 1. Okay, P minus Z minus 1. So what is P minus Z? P minus Z equals to P equals to 3, Z equals to 0. So P minus Z equals to 3, 3 minus 1 equals to 2. So values of K equals to 0, 1, 2. 3 number of values of K are there. So correspondingly I have to write theta 0 equals to 2 into 0 plus 1 equals to 180 degree by 3, 180 by 3 equals to 60 degree. Theta 1 equals to K equals to 1 equals to 2 plus 1 equals to 3, 3 into 1, 180 degree by 3, 3 get cancelled, becomes 180 degree, and theta 2 equals to 2 into 2 plus 1 into 5, 5 by 3 into 180 degree, it becomes 5 by 3 into 180, 16, 3 equals to 300 degree. Okay, these are the asymptotes, the angle of asymptotes. 3 angles we have find out. The next point is point number 8. For point number 8, it is called as imaginary line crossover point. Point number 8. The name of this point is imaginary axis crossover point. Imaginary axis crossover point is find out from the characteristic equation and using the root array which we have studied previously. That is, the characteristic equation is s cube. First we have to write the characteristic equation s cube plus 4a square plus 4a square plus 3x plus 3 equals to 0. This is the characteristic equation. I have to apply this characteristic equation with root array, that is root r is greater than s cube square x power 1. But you have to find out these terms. So s cube highest power 1 3, the second is 4 and k. You have to find out s1 and s0. That is for s1 4 into 3 12 minus k 12 minus k by 4 and s0 equals to 3 directly. This one, sorry, k. So this is, you can write here 12 equals to 3 minus 12 minus k whole divided by 43 3 minus k by 4. So for a system to be stable, all these terms of this first column must be in same sign. Since 1 and 4 are already there, this is positive, so this k must be positive and this term must be positive. So for stable system, this k must be 0 and 3 minus k by 4 also must be greater. 3 must be greater than k by 4 and by that k must be less than because 12. So the system is valid for a range of k that is from 0 to 12, and we have to find out the exact point where this root locus are going to cross the imaginary section, and it is find out from this s square row. For only particular this s square row we have to find out. So s square row is 4s square, the coefficient of 4 each of s square, the 4 is the coefficient of s square, 4 square plus k directly, and finding for the solution of this equation by putting the value of k equals to 12 range, we will find out the exact location where the root locus are going to cross the imaginary section. So this is s square equals to minus k by 4 equals to k equals to 12, so it becomes minus 3. So s equals to plus or minus e to the power of minus 3 equals to minus 1.73. Plus or minus, the g is the complex value between the g 1.73. 1.73. It is not visible there. Okay, and that means that e equals to the final value, not k, s equals to plus or minus g 1.7. So this is the exact location where the root locus will cross the imaginary line. Okay, this is point number 8, and the last point. Actually, this is the last point. There is no further point number 9 and point number 10 requires. I will just state the points, but we will have to explain in a later part with some suitable examples. So, what is point number 9 and 10? So, point number 9 is angle of departure from complex pole. So for that, point number 8 to be find out, we have, if we have complex poles. Here there is no complex pole. Normally complex pole are there in second order term. If second order term will be there, that is a square term is present, then we have complex poles. But here there is no second order term, and hence no complex poles arises. Similarly, point number 10. Point number 10 also the statement is, it is the angle of arrival at complex zeros. Point number 9 is angle of departure from complex pole. Point number 10 states about angle of arrival at complex zeros. Since there is no complex pole and no complex zeros here, we don't need to draw the or find out the complex poles and complex zeros, angle of departure and angle of arrival. Then come to the drawing part. The drawing part will be draw the graph. We have to draw the graph. The first divide the graph in such a manner that most of the part lies to the left hand side of the imaginary axis, or the imaginary axis should be drawn more toward the right side of the graph paper. It is the imaginary line. The real part should be midway between the graphs. So this is the real axis. Real axis must be just middle line, but the imaginary line must be more about right side of the graph. Then just puts the poles and zeros marking. As per the standard procedure, scales should be specified. Scales, x-axis, y-axis, we should write this. But since I am drawing in the rough, just blackboard, just mark here 0. As per your scale, you mark here 1 minus 3. Mark this thing. Then mark the break point. Break point we have find out minus 0.49. The breakaway point. The centroid is find out at. The centroid is find out at minus 1.33. The centroid was find out at minus 1.33. This is the centroid. This is the break point. And the root locus and some other part of the other findings. The finding are at minus plus 1.73 G and at minus 1.73 G, the root locus will cross over. These are the points. So the drawings. Now the final drawing, as we have already mentioned, the root locus exists between minus 0, this line, and here also 0 to minus 1. The starting point is, it starts from open loop poles. The root locus always starts from open loop poles and terminates at open loop zeros. And there are no open loop poles, open loop zeros, it will terminate at infinity. So the starting point are always open loop poles. It will come from this side and it will meet at 0.49. This is the break point and departs. Since two number of root locus are meeting at this point, the breakaway angle also the same, that is 90 degree definitely, and 90 degree will departs. And after departing the breakaway point, and at the break point, the root locus tends to break away into the complex side. From real axis, it is breaking away into the complex zone. And after breaking away into the complex zone, it will cross the imaginary axis at the crossover point. And we have already found out the crossover point to be minus 1.73. And after that, it will match the asymptotic lines. And for that, we have to draw the asymptotic lines. The asymptotic lines will be drawn from minus 1.33 the centroid. And the angles, we will find out that 60 degree angle, one is 60 degree, one is 180 degree, that is along the real axis, and the second one is, the third one is 180 degree. It is 180 degree, and the third one is 180 degree. This is 60 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 300 degree. 300 degree. We have to draw this line. This is actually should be drawn in a lighter version or dotted version. And after drawing this, we have to draw the root locus in such a manner that it break away from the break point, cross the imaginary axis at this imaginary axis crossover point, and after that it matches this asymptotic lines. So freehand drawing should be like this. Should be slightly lower because I am drawn randomly. It must be some downward. Okay, minus 1 plus slightly. Okay, so this is the whole drawing. So make this root locus more darker. We have to second part we have to mention here the k equals to 0 at this location k equals to 0 at open loop poles, and at this point at infinity k equals to infinity. Here also k equals to infinity. In this section k equals to infinity, and at this point crossover point we already find out the values k equals to 12, k equals to 12. If we write all these things, then this is complete. Okay, this is all about root locus drawing. Hope you understand. Thank you.